The Supreme Court on Monday sought a response from the Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Law and Justice, Chief Election Commissioner and other on the plea filed by the Delimitation Demand Committee seeking direction to the Election Commission of India to conduct delimitation exercise in Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam and Manipur as per the Representation of Peoples Act 1950. The plea has also sought directions to constitute a delimitation commission in terms of the provision under the Delimitation Act 2002 and Section 8A of the Representation of Peoples Amendment Act 1956. The petition contended that the delimitation exercise has not been carried out for the last 51 years in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur and Nagaland. Before we discuss the issue, let's get to know what delimitation is and why is it needed. Delimitation is the act of redrawing boundaries of Lok Sabha and Assembly seats to represent changes in population. In this process, the number of seats allocated to a state may also change. The objective is to provide equal representation for equal population segments and a fair division of geographical areas so that no political party has an advantage. The Delimitation Commission's order cannot be questioned before any court. Now, let's see how delimitation process takes place. Under Article 82, the Parliament enacts the Delimitation Act after every census, and under Article 170, states get divided into territorial constituencies as per Delimitation Act after every census, and once the act is enforced, the Union government sets up a Delimitation Commission. We got to know that what delimitation is and its process. Now we'll see the chronology of events. The last delimitation exercise that started in 2002 and ended in 2008 had kept out Arunachal, Assam, Manipur and Nagaland due to apprehensions over use of 2001 census. The Delimitation Act of 2002 was amended on January 14, 2008 to empower the President to postpone the exercise in these states. Subsequently, Parliament had decided that instead of creating another Delimitation Commission for the limited purpose of redrawing seats boundaries in the four northeastern states, the exercise there would be carried out by the EC. Section 8A of the RP Act 1950 was introduced for this purpose. In February 2020, government rescinded a 2008 presidential order which had stalled the exercise by the Delimitation Commission in Assam, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur. Finally, in March 2020, the Delimitation Commission headed by the former Supreme Court Judge Ranjana Prakash Desai was constituted to not only redraw constituencies in proportion to the population in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir as per the 2011 census under the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019, but also in these northeastern states but with 2001 census data under the Delimitation Act of 2002. Now, the question is why these four states were left out in 2002 and 8. Number 1. In Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam and Manipur, various organizations moved the Guwahati High Court against the 2002 and 2008 exercise, challenging the use of 2001 census for reference. Secondly, from Assam, an all-party delegation met then Home Minister Shivraj Patel, pleading that delimitation be called off because the National Register of Citizens (NRC) was yet to be updated. The Delimitation Act was amended in 2008 and on February 8, 2008, presidential orders were issued to defer delimitation in these four states. Third, in the last delimitation exercise completed in 2008, Arunachal, Manipur, Assam, Nagaland were kept out due to apprehensions over use of the 2001 census. Fourth, the centre's move to club the four with Jammu and Kashmir comes in the backdrop of unrest in the region over CAA. As we got to know the reason why the four states were left out of delimitation, and now with the Supreme Court notice to the centre response on the matter on the plea filed by the Delimitation Demand Committee seeking direction to the Election Commission of India to conduct delimitation exercise, another question arises here is, if the delimitation process takes place with delimitation change the number of seats in these four seats? The answer is no, because there is a freeze until 2026 on the number of Lok Sabha and Assembly seats in any state. Delimitation will only redraw the boundaries of the seats in each state and can rework the number of reserved seats for the SCs and the STs. However, because of exceptional past circumstances, Jammu and Kashmir's Assembly seats will now increase from 107 to 114, which is expected to increase Jammu's region's representation. That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.